Yo, 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 it is Reverse Polarity. I'm your boy, High Five Vega, and I'm joined, as always, by the man who never sleeps, the guy that can do things with zip ties you don't even want to know about, the man who calls toe socks shoes. It's Dean Bayette from 5 Star Car Stereo. What's up, Dean?
Not much. What's going on with you, man?
Nothing, man.
I love
I,
my
I
toe
got,
shoes.
I got, I'm wearing a new shirt,
Crimping
new
ain't
High Five
easy.
Vega merch. Crimping ain't easy. So I got two of them. I got a yellow one. I got this turquoise. We got some new colors.
That's cool. Crimping ain't easy.
Crimping ain't easy.
There was
It
another guy
actually
that
is
used to
easy.
use that slogan, but I can't think of what it. There's another guy who used to do YouTube a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he used to say, "Crimping ain't easy," and remember, crimping ain't easy.
I don't even remember. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Oh man. What was, he's in Canada somewhere. He's the Metro rep now, so. But man, yeah, that was early on in the early days. Yeah,
That must have been like the early.
that was back when, like, remember James from Car Audio? Shit, I don't remember what his channel was. The guy from New Zealand or whatever.
I think he done a lot of old school stuff.
No, he's just a young kid that. Oh hell, it doesn't matter anymore. They don't. Neither one of them do it. So.
Dude, it started. I think the first YouTube channel was obviously probably Steve Meets It.
Oh yeah.
I actually like went for car audio. I know about YouTube, but when I started seeing car audio, and I think it was like him driving through Taco Bell, and just like blasting them in the drive-through.
I think mine was Marker Soundman.
Oh really?
Might have been Soundman. I think it was Soundman. Yeah, because
I watched him on Revision 3.
Yes,
when he had the show with his dad, and I was like, yeah, this is dope.
That's where that's what I started watching, and I used to sit there and yell at the screen.
Yeah, because you were doing it.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
I was just like, I guess this is how they do when I'm not watching.
Yeah. But yeah, no. I mean, we enjoyed him. We watched him all the time. So I actually watched his. I finally had a moment last night when I was doing something, and I was like, oh, Soundman popped up in my feed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna watch it make fun of Mark again.
I didn't. I seen it popped up. I didn't get to watch it, but I've been watching. So I found the Soundman of cameras.
Oh,
have you ever watched Camera Conspiracies?
No,
dude. Like, if you watch any of his videos, you'll be like, yes, he's definitely Soundman of cameras. I mean, he's like got the same cadence and everything.
Yeah, I used to watch Frono's Photo.
Yeah, I watch Frono's Photo too.
Yeah. I don't know. Right now, I'm just stuck in this. These idiots that go out hiking and build little cabins in the woods.
Yeah, I watch those too.
I don't know why I find it interesting, because it's nothing I ever want to do. Yeah. But it's even more miserable to watch them do it in the wintertime.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, oh, you guys are some stupid people.
I'd love to do it. I'd love to do it. Like, all I need to live out there is I need, like, very good Wi-Fi. Very good internet. If I have very good internet, I can figure everything else out. I can make everything else work. But that's the deal breaker. If I can't get at least 50 megs down, like, I'm not doing it.
So the one thing that always amuses me in all of this is that none of them have any bathrooms of any kind anywhere.
Oh yeah,
like none of them have like yeah, but they never say like, this is the tree, or this is the hole. None of them ever do that, and I'm like, come on, guys. I mean,
you gotta watch Bush Radical. He not only does he show it, like, he shows how he builds it, and then, as a matter of fact, his latest video, he was like, a lot of people ask, what do we do when the hole fills up? And he's like, this is what we do. We move it over 10 feet. And then we cover up the old hole.
Yeah. But salad of yep.
We
Salad.
got a special or the public special.
No more public specials. They don't. It makes it very hard to make it through the second show if I have a public salad.
Hey, they might have the. They remember they kept recalling that romaine for listeria.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
that maybe what it was.
It went through me. So.
Yeah, you mysteriously disappeared, and it's just me and Haley kicking it.
Yep. I was listening in the other room going, ah!
Dying.
Full on dying, man. It was rough. No, it was great chicken salad, man. Yeah. Purdue chicken in a bag. Yeah, can't get any better than that.
Chicken in a bag.
The only dressing we have in this house is ranch. That's it. That's all there is. Whether you want something else or not, you can ask for it, but you're gonna get ranch.
Yeah, you can have any dressing you want as long as it's ranch.
Correct.
Yeah, not bad.
Did you ever go to Eskimo Joe's? When you went to Eskimo Joe's, right? When you were at Kicker?
No, I've never been. I haven't been to Eskimo Joe's since I might have been a teenager or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing that struck me as odd was when we sit down, they bring out not bread. No, they don't bring bread. They don't bring salads. No, they bring pickle spears and troughs of ranch.
Like fried pickles? Or just
no,
pickles?
just regular pickles and troughs of ranch. And I'm like,
I like pickles and I like ranch. I don't know if I would dip a fried pickle in ranch.
Well, of course.
But I don't know.
It tastes fine. But it was just odd. And I'm looking at Lori and Steve and John, and I'm like, what's this? I mean,
what's going on here?
Yeah, what this is the thing? Oh yeah, you haven't had this? I mean, when in Rome. But I mean, Haley'd be happy. I think I sent her a picture of the trough of ranch, and I was like, dude, they literally bring the ranch out. You don't even have to ask for it.
That's the way to go. Like if I get fries, I prefer most of the time ranch over ketchup, unless it's Five Guys. And then I don't know if Five Guys uses special ketchup, but I like their ketchup, and I like McDonald's ketchup.
Yeah, I like ketchup. Like the only thing that I eat ketchup on is French fries. That's it. Like when I have my imitation burgers,
right?
No
I don't
ketchup.
eat ketchup on burgers either.
I literally don't eat ketchup on anything other than fried potatoes.
I've never even thought about this, but neither do I. The only time I ever eat ketchup is with French fries.
Yeah. But
let me ask you this very important question.
Okay.
You're hungry. You need something to eat in the morning. You're going to work. You can only get one or the other. And you can only get one of them. Bagel or donut. Any donut you want or any bagel you want.
Man. On the one side, those everything bagels are pretty much everything. But like a Krispy Kreme donut in the morning. I mean, I don't think I could make it through that long with just like a Krispy Kreme donut.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah,
I would die out like really quick. So it would probably have to be a bagel just so I could get a couple hours out of it before I'm like, all right, what's next?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like a donut is. If I get to do whatever I want to do, donuts are awesome. But bagels, that's gonna hold you over for a minute. And I love bagels. I like just a plain toasted bagel with plain cream cheese.
See, I'm okay. I mean, you guys make fun of me for everything else, so it's not gonna matter. The only way I'll eat a bagel, believe it or not, is microwaved with butter.
Oh, I'll do that too. Yeah.
I just want mine soft and gooey and just dripping with butter, because my thought is if I'm gonna kill myself, there's no reason to half step.
That's why I would go with the cream cheese.
I don't like cream cheese. Like, yeah, the only thing I like cream cheese as a frosting with sugar. Like I can do that, but I can't. I just like or a cheesecake. Yeah, I'm good with that. But regular cream cheese. Oh.
So cream cheese with sugar.
Yeah, of course. That'd be a cheesecake.
There you go.
There
you go.
Sweet and sour sauce is yummy. Every now and then I'll throw that on my my salad. Some sweet and sour sauce to the salad dressing, or barbecue sauce on a salad. It's pretty good too.
Wait, you ever get the yum yum sauce like at an Asian restaurant?
Oh God, are you kidding me? Of course.
Dude,
that's all the girls eat, man.
The yum yum sauce on a salad? Yo.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's good, man. Legendary.
See, I always like the goody goody sauce more so than the yummy yummy sauce. And I'm the only guy because I'll be like, can I get a goody goody and a yummy? And they're like, oh, you want a goody goody? Why you want a goody goody? No, I want a goody goody. No, I want a goody goody. Oh, you not eat steak. Why you want a goody goody? Shut up and give me the fucking goody goody. Why punchy you in the facey.
Put it on my chicken.
Yes, exactly. It's just good. What is yummy yummy sauce? Yummy yummy sauce is a Japanese mayonnaise based sauce that is good for vegetables and seafood as well as chicken. It's a dipping sauce. You can buy it in the supermarket when you go to the Asian food section. It'll say yummy yummy sauce. But I forget what all goes into it. But the main thing is mayo, which is probably why I'm not a big fan of it. Because, well, let's be honest, mayo sucks.
Oh man, this is where we part ways.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I don't eat mayo on a lot of stuff, but on burgers or a sandwich, definitely gotta have plain mayo. Like get that Miracle Whip out of my face. I'm not messing with Miracle Whip.
I'm not down with any creamy white sauce.
Mark it down. Cut it out, fellas.
Miracle Whip.
Whipped eggs. Do not mess with Miracle Whip. And it's got to be Duke's or Hellman's mayonnaise. That's the only ones it'll do.
I just want you guys to know we're 12 minutes into the show and have not mentioned car stereo yet, and yet you guys are hanging on. I thank you so much for that.
I'll tell you what. This week? I did a poll, but we're back to true form. Like we had several shows. We talked car audio the whole time, and it was.
I tried very hard today to come up with a topic point, and there you go. Larry's throwing it out there. He's got the recipe. Way to go, Larry. Yep, the girls have made that many times. Thank you, Larry. So if anyone wants to make some screenshot that right there, your wife will be happy.
Yeah, there you go. Yum yum sauce.
Good stuff.
So let me pop up the poll here. I got an interesting one for us.
I was trying really hard to come up with a hardcore topic.
Yeah.
It just wasn't hitting me.
Yeah. So I was had to feel inspired.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. What's your favorite car audio brand out of the big US headquartered brands?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So we got Rockford Kicker, JL Audio, Audio Control, Sundown. That's weird. Like Sundown makes that list because I mean I know they are, but
it's the audience that I'm speaking to. This speaks not. This doesn't speak to like the market. This speaks to like the audience that I'm speaking to.
No, and that's fine because I mean there really isn't anyone else.
And
because
Rockford and JL have been battling it out all day. So we've got how many votes? Like 370 votes on this. And at one point, JL was 30%. So Rockford just recently overtook JL in this.
Dude, it's so funny. Like compared to the poll that we put up, like on the Clean Wire Club, audio control decimated them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think it may be an audience thing, you know. And I threw Sundown up there because I knew that there's going to be a lot of people that wanted Sundown up there because it is a U.S. headquartered, you know, brand. So, out of the Basshead brands, I would say it's probably like one of the biggest like Basshead focused brands.
Oh, I mean, trust me, if I'm going full Basshead tomorrow, I'm getting Sundown.
Yeah,
you know. Because I feel like everyone else is just they want to be Sundown. Not to pick on them by any stretch of the imagination, but like when I look at like, it's like if you put it in perspective of like the top four there, and that's about how I pictured it to fall.
Right.
But if you look at like if you take Sundown out of there and just make those 4, that's fine. But if you see, I wouldn't even put audio control in that. I always just look at it as Rockford, Kicker, and JL, because audio control wasn't making amplifiers way back when these guys were. So that part of the market's new to them. But you know, when you look at Basshead brands like Sundown and pick, you know, I don't want to. Oh, hey, that's cool. I don't want to throw like the Brazilian amps in there because that's obviously that wouldn't matter. But I always think of Sundown as like the godfather of the SPL world because they've been around so long, and all the other guys have just kind of like dropped off.
Yeah, I would. Now, one that I considered was like Digital Designs.
Yeah,
but they're even now they were niche back.
They're not
90s.
That old.
Well, I mean, they were running them in the 90s.
Okay,
so they're older than Sundown.
Yeah,
and they're out of Oklahoma City, but they were niche back then, and I would still say they're niche.
Oh yeah.
Now, even compared to like Sundown or Scar or you know, they're on. I'm trying to think what I would compare them to, but they make fantastic products.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, there's other brands too. I mean, like, you know, you got Memphis,
right?
For lack of a better word, Phoenix Gold. You know, I think, you know, you gotta narrow the field down. Like,
right?
Like Memphis is still Memphis. Like, that's still that same Fultron company. Like, it's still the same guys own that. I don't know if they've ever had their moment of sunshine. You have MTX. MTX is still rocking it, but they're not. Their moment has come and gone.
Right.
So I feel like JL, for whatever reason, when you look at JL, Kicker, and Rockford, these brands have been at the forefront, stayed at the top the whole freaking time. Right. And it's really weird. Like, it's weird how one company can do that and another company can't.
Yeah, they turned it over. And I can see Kicker more than the others for this reason. Rockford and JL did not do the Walmart thing. Rockford sold some in Best Buy.
Well, and a couple other giant chains, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like Walmart, you know. Walmart is like so much bigger.
Money. So much money.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like they didn't do that yet. They're still like
big. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Because I mean, those 10 SKUs that they sell to Walmart just is like it's guaranteed bucks.
Right.
But I also think that's why if you look at so like Kicker, when you say the word Kicker, you automatically think car audio.
Right.
When you say the term in a room of people, like not necessarily like fans of car audio,
right?
But like just like you say, Kicker, the first thing they say is, "Oh, those are those guys that make those subwoofers."
Yeah,
you know, they make those boxes that go boom. They immediately think of car audio. You go into that same room and say Rockford,
power sports,
motorcycles, like, you know, depends on who's in the group. They'll be like, they make car audio. They might not even know,
right?
Because that's not where they're being introduced to Rockford now. And if you say J Audio in that same group, they're again boats, like boats, because when it comes like they own marine, like JL Audio is marine. They own it. They patented it. They have that shit on lock, and everyone else is just trying to play catch up to whatever it is they're doing, and that's great. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I didn't shave today.
No.
But it's yeah, I mean, that's what's weird. I mean, even like audio control, when you think of audio control, you don't necessarily think of amplifiers.
Right.
But you definitely think of or just integration.
Epicenter. I think of Epicenter.
LC7i.
Right.
Now, for those of you, this is a great segue into audio control. If you'll notice the 5-star free hat. For anybody that goes over to audiocontrol.com and pre-orders the Epicenter Micro, and then puts in the coupon code 5-star free hat, guess what you're gonna get?
A free shirt.
A free hat.
Oh, damn.
So it should auto-populate free hat into the invoice and not charge you for it, and you'll have a free hat coming to you.
So if you're going to get a micro, might as well get the free hat.
If you're going to get, we've been waiting, and we've been telling everyone just kind of hold out, don't order it yet. But if you order one and type in free 5-star free hat, you will be getting a free hat with your Epicenter micro.
What's the size of the micro versus the original? Like, what's the scale?
This big.
So like a third of the size.
Like a third of the size. Yeah,
wow.
it's smaller than the phone.
Wow.
Or exactly the same size. It's tiny.
That's pretty dope because you know Epicenter is a really cool piece, but sometimes you don't want it to be the center. You know, don't want it to be the center focus of your system.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is like this one is so much better just because it's smaller. It has load resistors built into it. It does high level. It's everything they wanted it to do. They just couldn't do it because they didn't have a good enough reason to do it. You know, the Epicenter could have been smaller a long time ago. They've kept it that big because of ripoffs being smaller. And so they're like, hey, you know, if we're going to redo this thing, there has to be a reason to redo it. Because like when I was there with Haley a couple of years ago, that was one of the things we were talking about. And I was like, me thinking of my old school style, I was like, dude, you know, what'd be really cool is if you made one that's like 2.5 inches wide.
Yeah.
You know, just enough room for the clip and a set of RCAs, but it's the standard amplifier size, kind of like old school, you know. And they were like looking at me like, really? And I'm like, yeah, dude, that'd be dope, man, because you could like put a 4-channel in the mono block, put that right in the middle.
Right
that'd
in the
be
middle.
so cool. You know, and they were just like, yeah, I don't think so. I was like, all right, fine, whatever.
That would be cool.
Know.
Little amp links to
I thought, an amp link that's an Epicenter. I thought that'd be neat as shit. But
you know what else would be cool? If they made like a remote for it that had a display that some kind of animations, you know, whether it's just regular simple views or I think it'd be cool, just like a bass knob with some kind of display on it to display something.
I'll channel my inner engineer, the kid that designed the new bass knob, the ARC4 that has, you know, the effect and the volume on it. Are you out of your freaking mind? You know how hard it was to design that? You know, he's like, dude, because he's like, we literally had to do the same functionality with the same amount of wires as we, you know, like we couldn't change the input and we couldn't change the wire and we couldn't change anything. We just had to figure out how to do this over the same amount of wires.
Right.
And he was like, it was because Fernando interviewed him. We put the video of the kid telling us all about it, and it was. Yeah, he's like, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, and, you know, and it was funny too. Speaking of the crazy bass knobs, you know, when we did that Salt 4 last week, Sundown Salt 4, the bass knob for me, it's I don't like it, but I understand it and I get it. And you know, some of the Basshead guys were, you know, saying, hey, look, you know, we know you're not a Basshead, but this is like the gold standard for Bassheads, and I'm like, oh no. I totally understand it, and that's why I said it's a love-hate thing with that, because I think it's cool that like you have a clip light, you have a voltmeter, but I really wish it was like capable of being like flush mount. Like if it were a normal 12-volt bass knob, there'd be a way to flush mount it. Like because they think of shit like that these Basshead guys don't have the budgets for as far as the builders of these products, you know, because that's not important to these guys. You know, they're just looking at like, dude, these guys, they don't even carpet their boxes. I mean, you know, so there's, but that's what irritated me. Cause like the guy that he's like, oh, can you flush it in here? I'm like, no, there'd be no flushing.
That's not on this one. No fleshy with this one.
You know, this bass knob does not come apart. It's just this, you know, and it's like,
they're cool. You know what bass knob I like? I like the Q class bass knob. I think it's cool. Like it's got a lot of features. It is kind of big, but I like it.
Extremely big.
It's big. Yes, like you can't get over that, but
because it's a manual Epicenter. You know, it's all the functionality of an Epicenter in one knob. So it's like you get and I liked it. I mean, it was like being able to adjust your width, your center frequency, your Q. and then still have subwoofer volume control that defaults back to. Oh, that was fabulous. And then they gave you some of that on the KX amplifiers. But what's cool about that, see, and I feel if they would have evolved the Q class amplifier, it would eventually became the KX amplifier, where it was like you could just mount it anywhere because it's Bluetooth and it has all the same functionality. But we were never going to get that with the Q class because they just couldn't figure out how to sell it.
Yeah.
So, which kind of sucked, but
yeah. See, and plus it's pretty inefficient. It's the KX are pretty efficient. You know, they're not like the class leading, but they're pretty efficient. And
yeah,
the Q class, they're dogs.
They're big dogs, man. Yeah, they're big dogs. But you know, has a pretty sexy DSP. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I like Q class complaining session engaged. So I was tuning on the iPad here. Yeah, I was like, okay, because it's easy. It's nice. It's a nice interface, but it locked me out of the freaking bass knob. So I cannot control the bass knob now until I take not my my MacBook Air. No. I got to get my wife's Windows laptop out there to do it. So I was like, dude, I still hadn't even done it. So
yeah, that I don't know. Okay. We're all right. Hold on. We're gonna review Boys in the Hood, so you still have time. You can go fast forward through it. Here's the thing that irritates the shit out of me, and I've expressed this many times to the people that need to know why and who are making these decisions. But the iPad or any portable handheld device like that for tuning a DSP sucks big fucking time. It sucks. It's shit. You can't tune over Bluetooth to save your ass. You can make small little tweaks here and there, but it's just fuck that, man. Like even audio controls, like, dude, if you need that Bluetooth dongle for streaming, great. If you need it for like changing presets, awesome. If you're just like you want to do little things here and there, fine. But if you're trying to tune your system, shoot yourself in the head because it needs to be plugged in.
I had to do that real quick.
Yeah. But the reason why we have those, the reason why they're not computer controlled and they're iPad controlled is because of the big box stores. The big box stores don't have necessarily laptops in their install base, and they want to make sure that their doofuses can use them with their smartphones.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. That's why they do them. And you talk to these guys and you're like, hey, why is this like this? This is dumb. Like, have any of you ever tried to do this on like a semi-professional, like, let alone professional, and like try to like not want to kill yourself? And they're, well, I mean, I'm like, dude, I got to do like, 5 of these, 10 of these a month. And every time I got to sit here and screw with this thing not connecting, or I want to kill you, the engineer. I literally want to drive or fly here, smack you in the face with my iPad.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I mean, I'm like, all right, this is not a well, you mean, okay? This is the field telling you, please, for the love of God, stop making them this and let me plug in a laptop. That's all I ask.
Well, and they're not only. Are there some of them that like you cannot plug a laptop into?
Yeah, of course.
Oh no,
the DSR1.
Oh no.
A lot of the little motorcycle DSPs. They're all the new the guys that do Sound Digital Ground Zero. I always forget their name. They're gonna kill me. But anyways, HKI.
Yeah.
The new HKI DSP. It's only smartphone. I mean, it's fine. I get it.
Right.
But you can't have this gigantic DSP. Now, to be fair, Rockford does a really nice job with the GUI. Like the GUI's on point. It's just not my thing, man. It's just, and I can bang through it now. Like I've done hundreds of these things, so it's like boom, boom. I know what to do. It's like just like an audio control. I can literally go, But that's a nice thing, though. I mean, I want to be that efficient with all of them.
I like having the option of the Bluetooth because if I just want to change some crossover points or do a little bit of EQing, it's easy. But like when I'm setting it up, I want the laptop. I want to do the laptop, and I want it to work with Mac. So I don't get to borrow my wife's laptop.
Bobby, I just talked to Chris this week, actually, as a matter of fact. He sent me a couple pictures of the cars. I think it was yesterday, to be honest with you. I don't know. The days all blend together, but
Yeah.
I did talk to Chris last week or this week. He's doing
Yeah.
good. He's doing a couple 911s.
He's still alive.
He's still alive.
Last time I talked to him, he sent me a video of him and one of the Porsche Electrics.
Oh, no. Yes.
Super fast one. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Making mistake number one, never drive the customer's car.
Yeah. Well, he was a passenger.
Yeah, I don't even want to be a passenger.
That's even worse.
Yes, yeah, because now you're with an amateur.
Yeah.
I have not messed with Team Pi DSP. I haven't even heard of it.
They're the ones that they make amps, the big Basshead amps.
Oh, okay.
They OEM them for a lot of people.
Gotcha.
So.
I mean, what is it? There's a couple guys that make those really weird like DSPs that have like the LCD screens on them.
Yeah.
Stetson, I think, or
Stetson.
Yeah, Stetson makes one.
Yeah.
I think DS18 might have one.
Are those full DSPs? Because I haven't messed with it. It looks kind of like a crossover.
So I don't know. I haven't had. I want to get one, just to play with.
Right.
But we don't have relationship with those guys. So I mean, DS18 guys, maybe we're gonna see them in a couple weeks. I might be able to get my hands on one, but I want the Paul Walker DSP tuning in the Eclipse.
Danger to manifold.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the plate falls out of the floor. Excellent.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But then somehow he can, Dom gets in there with no problem. His feet aren't Fred Flintstoning out of the bottom.
Yeah.
I have to buy a Helix Ultra. 2 B2s. Okay, 4. Yeah, I wish I would have thought it out before reaching 12 channels. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I just found out today we should be. It's not official yet, so I'm not going to say it on the other channel, but we'll be a Helix dealer here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
So you get to play with they make some.
Very awesome.
That the big boys like what, $1,500 or something?
I have no idea. They make some expensive stuff. I'm not worried about that. So I want to get my hands on is the up 10. They make the up 7 and the up 10 in their small line that we did we just did the review of. They had the up 7 BMW.
Yeah.
And they make that as a standalone. And I want one of the up 10s. Because it's real tiny and sexy, and I would love to put it in my car. I probably never will, but I want to so badly. Yeah, Brax for the win. Brax is nice. Yeah. We're trying to figure out it. I can't talk about it. Any accessories use that option port on the? Yeah, that's the
Bluetooth, right?
Yeah, the AC BT25, I think is what it's called. Is that? So the option port was put there, obviously, as an option. The Bluetooth dongle will plug into it. So the idea is, the Bluetooth dongle for the audio control is you can either plug it in to do streaming audio.
Yeah.
You can plug it in to do control from your phone for volume knob and presets, or you can plug it in to tune the amplifier. I'm not a big fan of the tuning the amplifier part, but the neat thing is that like you could buy a D class, the D series amplifiers, like a 51300 or 61200 or whatever you want, and you can build a whole system and not actually attach it to a radio in the car. Pardon me, and just stream from your phone.
Yeah.
So it makes that really nice because it turns any one of their amplifiers into a streaming standalone amplifier. And when you're setting up the input of the amplifier, you can feed all the outputs through the software. So, and you can like have preset 1, a factory radio of some kind, and then preset 2 can be the DSP. And you can tune it any way you want. So it's kind of neat.
Well, that'd be cool for like an old custom car that they don't want to have something showing. They can have they just keep a spare phone or whatever in the car.
Or just use their phone. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, most people have phone holders from Scotia.
Yeah.
You just work the volume that way. And the cool thing is you can, if you want a volume knob, you can still plug the ACR3 volume knob into it and control the volume. So you can still have a volume knob and not have to use the phone if you wanted.
And that one has it's got two knobs, right? You can control the volume and the sub level with that knob, right?
No,
Or
it's
is that
just one function.
which one?
So
Which there's a
you have to
bass knob
choose.
like that, right?
Well, you have to choose which one you want it to be in the software.
I might be thinking of another company because there is a company that has.
Yeah.
It might be JL Audio. They have
JL Audio has a dual function bass knob.
right now. That's dope.
And then Helix has the conductor, which is sexy like that. And I think what you're going to see with audio control is in the future, when newer products start to roll out or revisions of current products, now that they have the ACR4 figured out and how that platform is going to work, you'll start to see functionality like that where you'll be able to assign features like, master volume / subwoofer level control and things like that, because that's usually what that function does, which it's like, oh, goody, master volume, yay.
Right.
And in the JL, I always switch them so that master volume is the one in the back.
Ring. Yeah.
Yeah, that no one ever uses. And then because, it's like, oh, God, why is it that loud anymore? Oh, shit.
Yeah, they get panicky as they turn it up. Like you don't know what you've done.
Yeah.
They're just like, I can't stop this. Yes, you can. You did that. You just turn it back.
What was the worst industry you ever got installing car audio?
The worst what?
Jav says, what is the worst injury due to car audio install?
Oh, I cut myself with a razor blade.
Oh, did you have to go to the hospital and get stitches?
I used butterflies, but it needed stitches. I probably should have got the stitches, but I was cutting. So listen, you can see this coming a mile away when you
a mile away. Yep.
Need speaker wire. Basshead. This is Basshead me, right?
Yeah.
I need the biggest speaker wire I can find. Like,
of course,
16 gauge, 18 gauge speed wire is not going to cut it. 16 gauge minimum. I go to Home Depot. No. I go to Lowe's.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a bunch of speaker wire there. They got 10 gauge. They got 10 gauge speaker wire.
Yeah, because they have
with a jacket that's probably like that thick on each wire.
Yep.
And you know what? This shit's kind of hard to split. So I couldn't even split it to get it to the coils. So I'm like, I'll cut this real quick and right into my leg, through the wire into my leg.
In your leg?
I had it on my leg, cut in like this.
Oh my God!
It happened so fast that it didn't even hurt at first.
No, not at all. No, trust me. Yeah. You don't have to tell me, man.
It doesn't hurt until the blood starts pumping. You're like,
those alpha blades are freaking hot mess. That is for sure. Yeah, I think it's funny. What did it say? Someone said, just check out Dean's unboxing videos. You will see.
Yes.
Router injuries are bad, but 18 gauge. Yeah. No, mine was the router injury. And yes, if you watch an unboxing, you'll notice that that finger there is the one that doesn't go straight is been pulverized by a roundover bit on a router. That was
not to mention numerous cuts in every.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't think I haven't seen one of your overhead shots where you didn't have some cut on your hand, possibly bleeding at the time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, my thumb has got a hole in it right now. Yeah. I mean, nothing ruins a day like a razor blade cut. Like there's this razor blade cut I did here I think like last week. And it sucked because it was right there in the palm of my hand. So it's like every time I set it down, it's like, son of a.
It's like a paper cut. Like, I don't like
but
this.
much deeper and way messier. Hell, University Hospital of Cleveland, Ohio, late to the show.
No.
We were just talking about damage. Fernando didn't heed the... I should cover the Band-Aids. Oh, $199? Jesus, no, dude. Our first aid kit is loaded. About every 6 months, I just go and like hit the Band-Aid section like this at Target.
Knock them all down.
Fernando cut the tip of his finger off on the table saw.
Uh-oh.
I'd already done this one. So like if you look at that finger there, it's kind of like that. I had done that, and I actually done it on this one too. So this finger's been hit twice. That's like a hurricane, or that's like a tornado in a trailer park. It's going to happen again. But, and it was like, dude, listen, it's going to hurt. pay attention. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And I'm like, you've never used a table saw the way we're going to use a table saw. And so you have to, like, this thing will fuck you up. I'm like, just look at these fingers, okay? And I've been doing this since you've been like, you were fucking 2, okay? So trust me on this one. All right. I know how this happens. And I got this. I'm like, and then when I hear that dink, and I go,
oh, ooh, should have got a stoss up.
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Did I tell you my table saw injury?
Oh no, what'd you do?
So I don't have any guards on my table saw. It's an older table saw, and it's like, just getting
trash.
So Cassie's getting into crafts way back when, and she wants to know how to. I taught her the miter saw. Miter saw went perfectly well. Miter saw is easy to use. She's doing the miter saw well. I'm like, you know what? I'll show you how to use these other saws here. Let's go for the table saw. We go for the table saw. I said, you just got to be careful. Push it up against the fence. I said, we got plenty of room. We don't need to use the stick on this one. You can just smoothly go through. And she got a little aggressive with the left hand. So we got one of these as it cut through. And that dude jumped out. And she unlike me, when we see that, like, we're getting the fuck out of the way. Like,
she took it.
Well, she didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm standing right next to her. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So the fastest thing I could do was put my arm in the way to, like, deflect some of it.
Oh.
And dude, that board hit my arm so hard.
Yeah.
And it still hit her. The board, my arm and the board still hurt her.
Oh yeah.
In the stomach. Bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, she's like, are you okay? I was like, just don't talk for a second. I just gotta. I
gotta get vision back.
Right, I gotta gather my thoughts. And she's like, I'm sorry. I was like, it's not your fault. It's like I had you running the damn table saw without a guard, like a freaking idiot.
You pushed on the wrong side.
I was like, this is 100% my fault. Like,
for the 2021 Toyota, get the Amp Pro. That's what you want to do. You want to get the Amp Pro. Yeah, the table saw is just one of those tools that you can never not respect it. Like the minute you don't respect it is the minute you're in. Yeah, I mean, people are like, why don't you build boxes? I don't want to build boxes. There's no joy at making sawdust in my life. It's like it has cost me lots of blood, lots of sweat, lots of just.
Right.
I mean, the guys that like to build boxes, knock yourselves out, man. I mean, but I don't have it in me. One day maybe I might go back but I think the only way I would ever go back to building any form of subwoofer enclosure would if I had a room dedicated to that
with dust collection and all that.
They had dust collection and all that shit. I would do it then, because part of the problem with building boxes is you got to clean this shit up. And like every scenario I've ever been in as a working professional, there's never been that room that's like, here you go. I would literally build boxes, clean everything up, and then start working on the car. And then if I need to go back, I'd have to make another mess, and the car gets covered in that fine layer of sawdust. And it's just like, it sucks.
Everything in my whole garage is like that. And I haven't built a box in years.
Yeah.
Security off.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
But
I'm thinking, yep, go.
Oh, I was going to say, that like the building box thing, I like building a box for myself from time to time. But if I just need to get something done, like if I got a weekend, I like building a box for myself. If I just need to get this done, like I got a local guy.
Yeah.
I try to schedule in with him and like, hey, you do a very good job at this.
Yeah.
Like, let's get this done, and then boom, we're ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'll draw up whatever I need, get the car, I'll draw up everything I need to, if I need to make a cardboard cutout to scale, I'll make a cardboard cutout to scale, and I'll be like, make me this, and sometimes it'll piss me off and I'll be like, dude, really? That's like, what?
This isn't what we talked about.
Tape measure, measure twice, cut once. Come on, fucker. But he's learning. He's getting better. Do you think a nice DSP would make a less than stellar head unit sound better? So there's no easy way to answer this. The initial answer, like right off the top of your head, is most people are going to say yes.
Right.
However, here's what you have to keep in mind. If that less than stellar head unit has a crappy DAC in it, meaning digital analog converter, and you're going to use that at some point, meaning when you plug your phone in, it's coming in digital and it's going to convert over to audio.
Right.
There's no escaping a crappy DAC. All right. So if you're talking like a $299 Pioneer Special or insert any other brand, it's really not made to be a building block radio to make shit sound better. Will a DSP make it sound better? Maybe, just because you're now adding a ton of equalization to it. However, the best thing would be is if you need that thing, I would still get a DSP with Bluetooth built into it or other way to stream into, just bypass the head unit. But I always use this analogy for describing how sound works. Anytime you go into the woods and you see a volcano, I'm not a volcano. I don't know why I said volcano. Waterfall. I was thinking of Hawaii because this is.
I've seen a lot of volcanoes in the woods.
I've seen a lot of volcanoes in the woods too. Okay, so in Hawaii they have these, nice waterfalls, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing!" And some of them you can go into and swim, and they tell you straight up, "Listen, whatever you do, don't drink the water. Okay, don't drink the water. Don't pee in the water." Just splash. It's like why do I want to go in this again? Remind me,
right.
Jesus Christ. And the reason for that is because upstream, as it were, is where all the wild boars are. The wild boars drink up top, where it's safe, where there's no people. They drink, they poop, they piss, right there, and all that stuff comes down to you where you're at. Thinking, "Oh, this is so amazing."
Yeah.
And the analogy is that no matter how good and beautiful this waterfall looks, upstream, it's filled with shit and piss from pigs.
Yeah.
And you can't change that unless you kill them all. So I could have the most sexy DSP in the world. I could have a Brax DSP that costs $4,000.
Right.
Okay. But if I'm putting a shit source in front of it, I'm going to have a $299, $4,000 DSP. So there again, you got to remember that a lot of the stuff on paper looks stupid. All right. Yeah. I'm not saying it is, and I'm not saying that it's like you can't do these things. You could totally do these things. Will it make a cheap radio sound better? 100%. But scale accordingly. So, don't go out and buy a $1,000 DSP if you have a $399 or $299 head unit. That's just doesn't make any sense, Whereas if you get like, let's say a DSR1 or that sub $500 DSP,
right?
Then you're probably gonna be okay. You're not gonna feel so bad when you're like, "Oh man, I was hoping for more."
What? And yours is like your argument's like based solely on the purity of the sound.
My argument is solely based on the fact that if you put shit in, shit comes out.
Well, I think most people, when they're saying it, their argument would be, well, you get more control, so you can make it sound better. But your argument is
when you take a picture, and it's too dark, and you try to brighten that up, okay, it's already baked in. Sure, you can push it, but then you're going to start to see pixelization. You're going to start to see artifacts. There's no difference with the audio. When it decodes the digital signal over to an analog, it's done its job.
Right.
You got this much, and you need this much. You could stretch it. And you're gonna introduce noise and artifacts and just things that don't need to be there. So there are radios built. I always, when I try to sell people a system or a radio, back in the day when you had like a variety of radios to choose from, now it's like, what do we have?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're getting this. I would group them into two things. You have system builders, meaning these are great radios to buy for system building. And then you have, I just need a radio.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kenwood made that real easy because it's like Exelon. All the Exelon stuff would be system builders. Even the cheapest Exelon radio has a really good sound to it, and it has a lot of features that, the more you spend, now you have XR, which is like, oh, okay, right, that's a system builder. Like, do you want the best system builder? Buy that, or buy a Sony ES. It's really it. There's those radios, and then there's nothing else. But yeah, I mean, Pioneer, you buy features. The one thing that Pioneer in the last 3 years, because they've only been making in 3 years, they've only actually made radios for 2 years, is they've kind of gone back to the old thought process of Pioneer, is that we're just going to put a ton of shit in the radio that no one else has, whether it works or not, or whether we can figure out, or anyone can figure out how to use it. It's got it. And then that we'll sell more radios because we have the most shit. And it's like, okay, so sound quality, big desire, being able to stream shitty YouTube. You decide.
They're just over there. Yeah, Pioneers, there's something else.
Do you still recommend using a PAC Amp Pro GM61 for the Gen 3 Silverado 14 to 18, even though the non-Bose with 8-inch LCD, you mentioned it removed all factory tuning and it brings it back to flat? Yeah, I totally recommend that. So for those of you playing at home have never heard this lecture, GM uses a data bus called MOST, and it's their superhighway. So like in the computer world, whatever your USB is passing is the data bus. That's how you connect all your things, and they work. MOST is a real popular bus network used in automotive now. And GM in that years that was like their first foray into MOST.
Yeah.
MOST is cool because along with doing all the other shit, it carries audio, and it'll carry digital audio. When you have the Bose system, everything is converted to digital audio. So the FM tuner, the Sirius XM, everything is converted to digital audio to go into the MOST bus amplifier, which is awesome, right? That sounds spectacular. However, in the non-Bose system, anything that's in the digital domain also gets converted, because it's just there and it has to be done. So what happens is that your Bluetooth, your plugged in over USB, so CarPlay, Android Auto, those all are in the digital stereo domain right there.
Right.
The problem is that FM and Sirius never get converted over to digital. So in some vehicles, you can plug in the Amp Pro GM41 and it will give you everything you need, meaning Sirius XM will work perfectly, FM will work perfectly, and of course the digital stuff all works perfectly and everything is great. It takes out the tune. It thinks it's the Bose system. It's fabulous. And then in certain vehicles, this all depends on the flash that the car got. Not all of them, go figure, not all of them got the same flash.
Surprise, surprise.
So, I know, it just blows my mind. Dip switch number 3 on the Amp Pro fixes the issue that happens where you'll only get left channel audio on Sirius XM and FM. So what they do is they clone left channel audio to the right channel for Sirius XM and FM. For Sirius XM, it really doesn't matter because Sirius XM just sounds like shit anyways, and it just sounds, hey, welcome to Sirius XM. It's 20 and 20. Hi, I'm Anita Blackwood. Memories from the MTV days. It's 90 on 9. So Sirius XM really doesn't matter. If you listen to something that has a lot of, it's kind of weird. And even now, like FM, if you just like, the only thing I listen to FM is like talk radio.
Yeah.
If I want to listen to music, I'm not listening to the radio because
nobody is, I don't think, anymore.
So to go back, I'm still doing an Amp Pro GM61 if I'm doing a whole system, or 41, whatever the hell it's called. I'm doing that piece. Hands down. Here we go. Straight into a DSP, living the Vida Loca, jamming out.
Does the Amp Pro have do they make a DSP that goes along with it? It's just that. So one of the problems that PAC as a company, Amp Global, ran into is they own this little company called Phoenix Gold. And Phoenix Gold
with the help of your good friend and mine, developed a DSP. Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was like Rev 1. And a lot of these manufacturers, when they design something, they don't understand that revision 1 isn't always the like that. You know, it's not going to be the one you're going to end up with. It's going to be the one that's going to get us to revision 2, which is, you know, the usually the goal. Like, you learn from 1 and you move on to 2. Well, their DSP that they made, they tried really hard, and they weren't prepared for the nonsense they got from that. And
Right.
so when that thing was gone, they were done.
It's like, yeah,
we're
this
done.
Is it. We're good. We're good.
We don't want to deal with that shit, because of the Amp Pro. The chip that's on it is 100% capable of doing DSP, because it has to do DSP in order to put the chimes where they need to go. And
that's kind of why I asked. I was like, it just seems
it's all there.
Kind of logical that they might have.
Oh no, it's perfectly capable of doing it. And they were at, you know, the idea was always to go back and build it into it. But after the Phoenix Gold fiasco, it was like, I don't think they'll probably do it at some point, but not with the current people that are there. I don't think it's going to happen. When setting time alignment on the sub, where do you measure from if the sub is facing rearward? So what you want to measure to on the subwoofer, you know, when the cone, I'm doing a crappy cone because so the cone looks like this. Here's the dust cap right here. A speaker, regardless of where it's located, you want to go to where the voice coil meets the cone. That's essentially where the sound starts, is right there at the dust cap of the cone. So if your sub is facing backwards and you figure it sits in the box about 3 inches, you know, measure from your head to, now if there's 2 woofers, you're going to have to kind of go to the middle point. Remember, 1 or 2 inches is going to break things, especially on a subwoofer. But you're going to go to the, you know, back about 3 inches on the center of the box. One thing you have to keep in mind when trying to time align a subwoofer, everybody wants upfront bass, and like there's methodology to it and how to set the distance and flipping the subwoofer 180 degrees out of phase. A lot of guys will tell you to do that, and they're not wrong. But here's the problem with all of it, and this is why time alignment in a subwoofer is hit or miss. Most people are not going to, it's not going to work for them. And it's the simple fact of you want way more bass than the mid bass is capable of coupling with. Because in order for it to sound like it is, the mid bass in the subwoofer have to jive together, and it helps bring that sound forward. The minute you go like this on your volume knob for the subwoofer, it's over. And the minute you go like that, it's over. So you could find a sweet spot where you can have that upfront bass and it all blends in and it sounds wonderful. But the minute you turn the volume knob, it's gone. So like when we were interviewing Jason Digos with his Up 7 BMW, and he's like, yeah, I don't have a subwoofer volume control. He uses the loudness effect built into the their Helix DSP.
Right.
And the reason why he does that is that, you know, he wants the boomier sound at lower volumes that fills the cabin and, you know, at low volumes. And then as he turns it up, he wants it to move forward, but not be as loud. So it is at higher volumes, it can couple with that big ass speaker underneath the floor and really move that sound forward, but it's a fixed volume. So he's worried about at higher volumes, the bass sounding like it's coming from up front. Right. So upfront bass is a pain in the ass that most people really don't want. Because they don't want upfront bass. They want bass everywhere. I want it to smack me in the back of the head.
And that's why I don't time align myself. Just there's a lot involved with it, and it's easier for me. I just use the bass knob if I want it.
Well, you know,
upfront bass is nice. But
it's an interesting point because if you get an 8-channel DSP, this is one of the things you have to grapple with. I got an 8-channel DSP, which for some reason everybody's DSP is 8-channel. Okay, right. It's like, okay, I got an 8-channel DSP. I want to do a 3-way set up front, and I want to do rear. And then where do I put my sub? It's like, ditch the sub, do your 3-way set, do your rears, time align that whole system, drop that big ass fat bass in there, and call it a day. because
it's the gravy. Yeah, sometimes you just pour gravy on it.
You're just going to beat the crap out of it anyway. So
right, yeah.
All right, that's the show, guys. Look at that.
It.
We came in strong at the end.
There we go. We started off in a putter and we ended strong. I drop a link. Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood. They're always hard. Come talk in that strash and we'll pull your car. Ain't
nothing. Nothing in life but to be legit. Don't quote Dean Boy because he ain't said shit.
Yep. And then and put the
yeah, that's what I was waiting for.
I know. It was there. It was in my head.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, you can find us here next week. Point in fact, if you guys have any idea, if you guys have anything you'd like us to talk about as a topic, by all means, put it in the show notes after the fact or type in a question after the fact. We'd love to answer or use whatever you come up with as a topic. Not necessarily a question, but broader things. We'd love to, if you just want to get our perspective on those, fire away. We're more than happy to base a show on those things. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find us here, same bad time.
Same bad channel.